Hello, everyone. My name is Elizabeth Summerlin, and I am the Senior Project Coordinator here at Grovetown High School. So I'm going to go through this presentation real quick and hopefully answer any questions or give you any help that I can. Okay, so here. This presentation will be available to anyone who needs it, so you can look back at it at your own time. Um, this is information about me, including my email address in case you need to send me an email. Email is really one of the best ways to contact me, and I try to respond within 24 hours. So Senior Project, what is Senior Project? Well, it's this year-long project that we have within the English Language Arts class, but although it's in an English class, it doesn't necessarily just mean English skills. You use all sorts of skills when accomplishing Senior Project. And your Senior Project can be almost anything that's feasible. So it can be a career, a skill, it can be a community organization. As long as that is a feasible option, we're open to helping you work through that. Now, what you'll do is you will choose a topic. You will research an idea or an argument or a hot button issue within that topic. You'll write an academic paper, so something that's formal, that has resources and references. You'll complete a 10-hour work project related to that topic. And I say related, it doesn't have to match completely. They can just belong to the same sort of idea. And then you're going to present that to a panel of judges in an 8 to 10-minute speech, either March 31st or April 1st. So each quarter of the year has something Senior Project related in it. That first quarter, we're going to do a proposal and an annotated bib. Your proposal is just an opportunity for you to tell your teacher, this is what I want to do, this is the idea I have, and your teacher is going to give you feedback on that idea. That format is available to you. We have a format and a template for all of these assignments. So make sure that you ask your teacher for those templates, or make sure that you go and you look for them in the folder at the end of this presentation. Your annotated bib is going to be where you collect resources and you report on those resources. Second quarter is the research paper. That's probably the toughest thing, but your teacher is going to work with you, and I'm willing to work with you. I have first period to I have a lab first period that any senior who has first period free, or who has a teacher who's willing to let them come to me first period, we can work through that research process together, and I can give you a little bit of extra time. Next semester is your cover letter, your resume. Many people already have that, and you can submit one that you already have. Your hours will need to be completed towards the end of February. And then fourth quarter is that presentation. So that's March 31st and April 1st for us this year. Okay, so Senior Project, why do I have to do it? Well, Columbia County Board of Education created this in 2002. I actually was one of the first classes that did Senior Project, so I know both sides of this issues. I've been a student and I have taught it, so I know where you are. But really, these skills, speaking, listening, networking, talking to other people, learning something career-oriented, making yourself a better person, those are going to help you regardless of where you're going after high school, whether that's to college or the military or a career. Those are necessary skills, and we call them soft skills. What is the grading like? Well, Senior Project is about 20% of the overall English grade. So your semester exam is that same grade, so they're going to be equivalent. Your Senior Project is not your semester exam, but they're of an equivalent sort of number. Senior Project can be a great way to boost your English class grade. It can also really lower your grade if you're not completing those assignments on time. So the grades below are listed here. They're very similar to that first slide. And we're going to, not only are we assessing these particular assignments, we're also assessing your professionalism. And professionalism is your ability to meet deadlines, to comport yourself. That means like behave and sort of put yourself out there in an appropriate way. You all know that if you're going to a job interview, you want to behave an appropriate way so that you get the interview, you get the job. Senior Project is just helping you with those skills. So COVID-19 is a big question. Everybody's like, well, how does COVID-19 affect this? I can't go and job shadow. I can't go and volunteer. Well, we've made certain modifications and accommodations this year to make that a little bit easier. You do not have to go anywhere or work with anyone to complete your project. You may do all of your learning and that bettering of yourself. You may do all that independently. So I've given you a couple of examples here to look over. There's one where you can learn coding. The second example is about baking. The third example is about bettering your community. Those three examples really give you an idea of where you can go with this. And now if like bad things do happen and we are in virtual learning again next spring, and we can't do in-person presentations, we have a plan and a protocol for doing virtual presentations. And if that becomes an issue, your teacher will coach you on how to do that. We will help you work through that well before it needs to happen. So the first quarter, how do I get started? What do I do? The first thing that you need to do is you really need to start working on a topic or idea. And the best way to do that is to have an open and honest conversation with your teacher. We have all done this before. There's not a single new senior teacher. We've been here. We know what we're doing. Also, it might be a good idea to have two options so that if you do need a second choice, we can fall back to that. A very popular first choice for many of our people these days is nursing or something in the medical profession. And obviously, because of COVID, that's going to be very difficult. So be open to a second option. Have two things there. Write your proposal as specifically as possible, but you do not have to have everything 100% figured out right now. We know that you're still figuring this out, and we're here to help you figure this out. Write as much as you can, as clearly as you can. Have that conversation with your teacher, and your proposal will be fine. That template, again, is at the end of this presentation. Once you're approved, you're going to start your research. So that's really this first report card, this first quarter. How do I get started? Well, not how do I get started? Why do I get started? Well, think of something that betters your resume. The goal of Senior Project is to help you be a better citizen, a better employee, a better person. And so one of the things you can look at is is this the thing I can put on my resume to help me get a job? So, can you learn a language? Can you learn a specific job or a skill? Being bilingual in the business world is a huge advantage. Maybe if you, and learning a skill or a job. So, if you are going into a coding job or going into an entry level cybersecurity job, but you already know a certain set of languages, that's going to make you a better employee than someone else. So, use this opportunity to learn those things and to make your resume shine. Or you can think, does it better my community? Because if your community is better, your prospects are going to be better. And community service is also something you can put on your resume. So they overlap here. So think, is there something you can do around your community to make it a better place? Is there some good you can do? We have a lot of middle school students right now that only go to school every other day and are learning virtually on those off days. You remember what it's like to be in middle school. You remember what it's like to see algebra for the first time. Perhaps you could offer virtual tutoring to those middle school kids. Maybe you could walk a dog for a person who is afraid to leave their house or can't leave their house. Maybe you just need to clean up your neighborhood. I have one individual who talked about he has a love for automotives. Okay, well, go around and ask, the elderly, or ask somebody whose spouse is deployed, do you need an oil change? Do you want me to look at your tires? Is there something I can help you do? Teach that to other high school kids that are going to go to college, because there's nothing worse than getting halfway to your college and your tire blows out and you don't know what to do. So there is something you can do, some good you can give to your community. And lastly, does it better you? Does it make you a better person? Because when you are happier, when you are feeling better about yourself, when you are less stressed, you're a better member of the community. You're a better citizen. You're a better employee. You're a better student. So think, do you want to learn how to sew? Do you want to learn how to paint? Do you want to learn how to play an instrument? Learning a skill or a hobby is a crucial step in being a productive member of society, because we want you to be happy and healthy. We want you to have self-care. Good, happy people who know how to deal with their stress, become good community members. So all three of those things are options. Does it better your resume? Does it better your community? Does it better you? So here are some ideas, because a lot of times I get students that say, "Well, I know what I want to do for my paper. I know what I want to research, but I don't know how to make 10 hours out of that." So here's some research topic. If that's a thing that speaks to you, by all means, we've got you some connections. Again, we've been doing this for a long time. We have heard almost everything. We probably have an idea on how to make this work for you, but you have to talk to us, talk to your teacher, talk to me. And if you know that you have a project, you know that you want to work around your community, then come and speak to us. We can give you an idea for a research paper. We can make it happen. The next question comes in is, how do I prove my project? Do I need a mentor? Because again, COVID is going to make mentors very difficult. You do not necessarily need a mentor. You certainly do not need a mentor in real life. You can have a virtual mentor if you need to. And so typically we do make you have that community connection. But again, that's going to be difficult. So this year, you do not need a mentor. You still must prove your hours to your senior English teacher. You have to make a good case that you spent 10 hours doing something. And your teacher is going to give you the specific requirements that they have that differs a little bit from teacher to teacher. But below you have the must-haves are your required elements. You have to have a written work log of your work times and details. You need to keep track of that. It can take the form of a journal if you want it to take the form of a journal. We have a log where you can write your day, your time, your activity, and have that signed. But you have to prove that. You have to have evidence in the form of videos, pictures, documentations, screenshots, video recordings of your screen. If you're going to learn how to code, hit the record button while you work through Code Academy. Even if that's an hour long, you are proving you've done an hour's worth of work. You have to have some tangible thing or pictures of something. Those are must haves to proving your project. Additional evidence goes a little bit further in case you feel like your must haves might be weak. So keep a weekly vlog of your progress. Make an Instagram account only for your senior project that you update weekly. That's evidence. Keep letters, emails, texts from individuals that you have helped or worked on. If you're cutting grass for the elderly people in your neighborhood, get them to write you a letter, get them to shoot you an email or a text, and have that screenshotted as evidence. That is all evidence that you are doing work. Receipts, or if you had to fill out paperwork to go somewhere, all of that is evidence that you are doing something. The more evidence you have, the more solid your hours look, and the less your English teacher is going to doubt you and question you. So make sure that you are documenting everything you can document, because the weaker your case looks, the more questions we're going to have. So finally, here are some resources to help you. This senior helpline is a direct Google form to me. It sends me an email every single time somebody fills it out, and it has information on it that will help me guide you, and I can reach out to you within 24 hours. On the other side is a folder that has work in it. It has templates organized by quarter. It has guides. It has material that might get you back on track and help you stay on track. Both of those things are open to you or your parents. Everything my goal here is to be as helpful to you as possible, because I know that senior project can be a source of stress if you're going it alone. And I'm here to tell you, you're not going it alone. All right. I hope that this has been helpful to you. And again, if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to reach out. Have a great year, class of 2021. You can do this. Bye.